Well, we have one of my favorite things from Hunkydory. This is the Deluxe craft pads. We have painted petals and we have enchanted glades. So both of them are in this webisode with Heidi, and I'll walk you through what's in these, but just let me show you what one of the projects is. So this is a twisted easel. It's going to go like that and rest and sit like that on your counter. Very, very cute. Okay, won't you please come play with us? Now, if you're saying, okay, Paulette, now why do you really love these? Well, let me show you. It just has so much in them. So I'm going to kind of focus on this one first. So there's going to be 4 sheets of foiled die cuts, and here is one. This is one that wasn't used, and this is called New Moments, and you can see all of those beautiful flowers and the foiling. These are all die cut. There are multiple images, like this has got the centerpiece, it's got a silver frame, and then it's got a patterned silver frame. This one also has 3, the others have 1. You have greetings. As you can see, you've got a border. Then to match that, there is a sheet of patterned cardstock, just like this. And then there is also a sheet of foiled, which for some reason I'm not seeing. Okay, take it from me. Whoops. Okay, and then there's also some inserts. So there's 2 inserts that will go with each of the designs. So that happens to be the 2 that go with this. So there's going to be 4 sets like that. And actually, it shows you that on the back of the package. So this is going to be a little hard to see on camera, I think, but you can see there's a pink set, which was used, and there is the purple set, which was also used. This is the one that I just showed you, the blue, and then there's also a green set. So you get the foiled die cuts, you get the foiled cardstock, and then you get the printed cardstock, and you get 2 of the inserts, okay? So all of those, and it just makes a lovely complete set. This is true of this set. It is also true of the Enchanted Glades. So that's why we've called this Petals and Glades webisode. So let me get started with what Heidi has done, and I'll show you what she used. So this is the first card, and it is on the tent cards from Hunkydory, and this is what they call the 7x5 cards. And Heidi did use a solid, and in this case she used the Mystic Florals solid cardstock, and you can see it's got the purples in here, and so that's just going to go very, very nicely. So she's going to use this on this card and on the last card also, that I'll show you in just a little bit. So to begin with, let me show you what the set is. Now, she only used part of it, so there's lots left. This is the foiled set and die cut set, all of these hydrangeas and lilacs. And there is, well, those are the die cuts. And this is the patterned cardstock. There's also a foiled cardstock. I think you can see the foiling there on the edge. And then the 2 inserts, so this one and this one. Now, she didn't use these 2, and she only used one of the other pieces, which just gives you lots more to choose from. So let me show you. So in this case, she cut a light lilac. Let's get in close, just a bit closer. There you go, thank you. And then matted it on the darker. And she did cut away, I believe it's about 3 inches from the front of her card. And that way she had this open area that she wanted to use with that beautiful frame. So those 2 were matted. And notice that they are glued at the edge of this cut area. So you don't see the white on all 4 edges, but just on 3. Now, this part is from the patterned cardstock. And it is this one. Okay, so you see that white edge at the top? Well, that's off of here. So this part was trimmed, and the measurement is in the directions down below. And she glued that also the same way, where the cut edge is down here, and then this is resting inside that second mat. So that's right there. Then she took the largest frame, this one, and foam taped it in place. And she did, you know, I forgot to tell you, this border, she has it right here, just right along that edge. So that was along the cut edge. This is kind of just loose right here. But this piece, so it says, if cuddles were medicine, you would be better already, wishing you a speedy recovery. So that's right there, and that's been foam taped right in the center. She did use, as is common for Heidi, she did use Hunkydory's bow maker with the 1/8 inch ribbon and zodded that right there. And I think you can see the pearls. I hope you can see the pearls up there, down here, and right there. And they look like this in the package. Excuse me. And there are 120 pearls on this. And of course, the white is just so useful. And so that is our card front. Now the inside, this again is the two purples out of the Flit and Flutter. There's that border again. This says a little something to brighten your day, another bow, another button. And then this is part of here. Remember, she used the top part, and then she just used what was left right here, or just a little bit of the area. So she just used these two pieces out of the 6 pieces that coordinate together. So you've got lots left to do some other things. Okay, well, on to the second one. I guess I should have mentioned that she also put 2 pearls down here. So you've got 2 in the top and 2 at the bottom, so they're all balanced. Okay, so that is our first card. Now we're going to go to our second card. And this one is the one that I showed you in the very beginning. Now, this is started out as our regular 5 by 6.5 inch card. It was turned so that the score line, the fold, was on the left, and then it was trimmed to be a 5-inch square card. Okay, then you want to place this flat onto whatever you use to score. We like the scoreboard. Pop off the bone folder and position this so that it's going to be right along one of the score lines, and simply cut that, or not cut it, score that. Now, it's going to be from the upper right to the lower left, okay? You just want to do that, and that's going to give you your twist, which is exactly what we want. Then pop that back on. That way you're not going to lose it, and that will be better. Okay, let me show you what the set that she used. This is still out of the painted Petals. And you can see these are all the pink flowers. So you've got cherry blossoms. There's no border on this, but lots of frames, and this is in silver. Then we have the patterned cardstock, and we also have the foiled cardstock, which is right there, pretty. And then we have the 2 inserts, and she's going to be using this one, so I'm going to hold that out, and I'll also hold this out. She didn't use the foiled, and she only used part of this sheet. So let me show you what she did. Now in this case, she is using a different set of solids. This is Flit and Flutter. And you can see that it's got the red and the pink, which is what she wanted to do to go with this set. And she's going to use it on the next card too. So in this case, because this is a 5-inch square, you're going to be cutting a red that is a little bit less than that, so like a 4 7/8. Then you're going to cut it on the diagonal. Do the same thing with a pink, but slightly smaller, and cut that on the diagonal. And then she used this insert, cut that to be the smaller size, and then trimmed it in the diagonal, and glued all of them on each respective triangle. So you can see that when you score that, you end up with one triangle and another triangle. Now, those papers do not go over the score line, and we don't want to do that because paper has a tendency to buckle if you put it over a fold, so we keep them separate. But notice that they simply go right to that straight line, okay? Then she pulled out this one. This is the cherry blossoms, and turned it on point. So this is a square, but she turned it like this, and you can see it's right here. Then she attached just the bottom of it to the bottom part of the card. She added For Someone Special, which is one of the foil die cuts in the set, and placed that there. She had pearls left, so certainly she's going to be using them here. And this is also out of the 1/8 inch ribbon set. So she did a little bow with the bow maker and zodded it right there. So that is our front. It's kind of nice to have this finished too, so that it's not kind of empty. Now on the inside, this is where she used the patterned, and here it is. So you can see that that's what she cut, and then she matted again, lighter pink and then the darker pink, just like she did on the card front. She did, this is over on the right-hand side, which works perfectly with this design. All My Love is one of the foil toppers. That has 2 layers of foam tape. You can see pearls and you can see the bow. So that this is what it looks like when the person gets it. But when they open it and this lifts up, that is going to rest right there onto that double layered circle right there. So it's going to read For Someone Special, All My Love. So very sweet. Okay, that's all done. And you've got lots left because the only thing that she used here was the All My Love and For Someone Special. So she used this, and that. You've got these 2 pieces and all of those left to do something else with, and you've got matching elements left too. So that works perfectly. Okay, we're going to go to our next card. Now this, we've done Painted Petals, so we had 2 cards out of that. So we're done with that set, and you saw there are 4 sets in there. Now Enchanted Glades, same idea. There are going to be 4 sets. And let me show you what these are that were not used. So we've got the Enchanted Glade has beautiful animals, and you can see those soft colors around them, those pastels around the fox, the deer, the 2 owls, and you've got a border and so forth. This is foiled, and this is the other one that is foiled. It's called Magical Moments, and you can see dragonflies down here. We've got this lantern. We've got some coffee or some treats, a little house, and then a lady. And these are some of the other things that are in here. So I will show you what she used, but the art is just charming. And I love the idea of the pastels. That's a really nice mix. This is a foiled piece. You can see that. So it's obviously the foiled and the pattern. So there's foil there with that little hedgehog. And then you'll also have, this is a foiled, oh, there's more foiled in this one. And then we also have the inserts, which are the ghosted back imagery. Okay, so that's what wasn't used. And here is what was used. So here is our card. And this is using one of the inserts for the front of the card, which I think is really nice. We'll get in closer, thank you, and even more. Okay, so this is our 5 by 6.5 inch card. This is the insert, which I think is really interesting. And with that, here is the foil die cuts. Aren't they gorgeous? So we have a lady, we have butterflies, we have birds. So a nice combination, and you can see how that artwork is, it's the same artwork, and it's just gorgeous. So she cut this piece down, and then matted it on a light lavender and a blue. This is out of the Flit and Flutter solid cardstock. You can see those blues right there, and but again, she's leaving the card to be a third matte out of white. And since she's got some light colors in here, that works perfectly. Now, she did add the border that's right here that says, "Thinking of You," all across it. So that's right there. And she positioned it so that you can read "Thinking of You." And then she took that little owl, a little bird, sorry, it's not an owl, bird, and foam taped that on top. And she also used these dazzles. Now, these are doily sticker. They're gold pearl dazzles. Now, if you are saying, you know, hey, I don't see any corners, well, that is because she cut it. So she took this one, and you could leave it on the backing or you could pull it off, and she cut it into quarters, just into quarters. Now, this is the 1 3/8 inch wide doily, so it's the smaller one, not the tiniest, but the smaller. So there's big, medium, and small, and use that. And the gold pearl is just a beautiful finish, as you can see. So just going to cut that into quarters, and she's going to use those. I'll tuck that little piece right back in the corners. Isn't that pretty? Very nice. So she's got the insert, a couple of matting, the border. This is foam tape. She's got the corners. And then this time, she used pearls on the first two, but this time she used the clear sparkles. So again, there's 84 pieces in this package, and they're going to go with anything. She put them on the center of the butterflies and at the corners right up there. Okay, now the inside of this card is right here. Wow. So this is the darker blue from the Flit and Flutter. She just covered her whole card inside with that. And here, she took this piece and she separated the outer printed edge and the center. So she didn't use the gold one, but I bet you can use it. And so you can see how that's just taking up the whole center of it. This is foam taped over the side. The other two pieces of the doily that was cut in quarters. And then the smaller pieces are just right there. So that's nice. This is the other part of the border, the Thinking of You. So you can read Thinking of You right in the middle, which is nice. And so it's fun to have this very light color on the front and then have a darker color on the inside. Or you could reverse it. I like the mix of the circles and the circle doilies. That works really well. Those crystals are put on the doilies centers also. There you go. Okay, let's move on to our last card, which is also from Enchanted Glades. And here it is. So this is different because she's combined some different things with it. Let me show you what the die cuts look like. So this is where we've got the hedgehog, squirrel, we've got those sweet little bunnies. That's what she's used. We have some mushrooms and dragonflies and lots of greetings. So this is, now she didn't use the foiled, she didn't use the printed cardstock, she didn't use the inserts. In this particular set, she only used this little puppy right there. I guess this little bunny right there, two little bunnies. Let me show you what she used. And here it is. So to begin with, she used our center step. These are our die cut cards. So you get 5 cards, 5 envelopes. And when you open this up, there is the die cut card all ready for you. Just right there. Okay, now on the inside, there is the insert that went into the package, but on the back of that, you will see patterns. Okay, so there's the pattern for the card front, for the 2 steps on each side. Now, it's kind of nice to make a copy of this and have it so that you can keep your insert with your package. And what she did is she used those, but then she trimmed them down. So this too is, I believe, using the Mystic Floral because of the purples in here. And she cut 2 pieces, or matted, and I know you can't see it, but there is a dark purple and a light purple, smaller than the center area. And the purples do actually go right down here, okay? So that way you're going to be safe. It won't get covered up. And then she foam taped those little bunnies in place. But then she added a lot of hearts, and they came from the package of Color Me card toppers, and that has these that are, it almost looks like they are embossed because they are raised edge. You get 2 of these, which is what she used. You get 2 of these. You get, there's another one. You get these that have greetings, excuse me, which she did not use because you have greetings on the package. But what she did do is to cut this. And let me show you. Okay, so she trimmed this out. So she just cut right along the edge there and there. And she glued it in place so you can see that where that heart is, and glued it just so cut this decorative edge and then glue it in place and then trim it straight so it'll be at the edge of the card. Then she did go back with the second piece and she cut out this heart and this heart so she could foam tape them in place. And before she did that foam taping, she did some coloring. So you can see that these are gold when they are designed. They are, it's actually called thermography, and it's like a commercial embossing. So they are laid over the white, and you can feel this when you have the package. So she cut those, placed them, and then she used the blending brush and she used the blush ink pad, and she also used the orchid ink pad and just went along the tops of those hearts just to give a little bit more color and also to let them blend in with our little bunnies and the purples that are used back here. Now for the side panels, she used, we've got a little stray piece of something. Okay, she cut the dotted area, and you can see it's right here because you're not using that. So she cut 2 pieces and also inked the tops of them. You can see that, and then matted it onto the darker purple and placed those on each of the steps. So it's the same size on both. So Birthday Wishes is also from that sheet, and you can see it right there, Birthday Wishes. And she foam taped that on top, and then she used the crepe ribbon set and made a bow and zotted it right there. Now on the inside of her card, she took a piece of the dark purple Flit and Flutter and just let it cover this whole part. She didn't worry about that up here, just let it go straight. The lighter purple, she cut a 1-inch wide strip and glued it there. Then this is another part of the piece, so you can see these 2. She just trimmed those out. She didn't worry about these swirls, but just trimmed those out, inked the top, and this was done with the violet. You can tell why. And then it's the little things that make life wonderful and forever friends. So this is foam taped, then this is foam taped over it, and this is just glued down, and then another little bow right there. So very sweet. And of course, with this package of the center step, you have envelopes as well as that card. So that's a very different look and a very fun use of these Color Me Gold Heart cards. So very fun. Okay, well that is a good taste of what you will find when you get the painted petals and or the Enchanted Glades, and I predict that you'll get lots of fun out of these. If you are watching us on YouTube, I want you to know that you can subscribe to YouTube, but please head on over to Paper Wishes. We have written out the directions for all of these, so you go down, 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 click on them, and it will take you to where the directions are. You can print them out if you want. And I do have a money saver. We put these 2 together. That is on the right-hand side of your screen. And so that will work very nicely for you, won't it? Okay. Heidi has done a very creative and wonderful job using these two Deluxe craft pads. And whenever you see a Deluxe craft pad, that's what it's going to mean. It's going to have all of these elements in it. So it's a wonderful collection, and just a really good variety of products. Okay, I do want to thank you for joining us at Paper Wishes. I do want to thank Heidi for the great job that she's done. And most of all, I want to thank you for being the best part of paperwishes.com. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.